Hi friends, I am Sunil Ajmera once more, and I am just rather firing my imagination in the time of this lockdown to think and talk about the varied topics which in normal circumstances, probably in amidst the hustle bustle of life, I would have actually been able to dabble with. One of the very interesting topic based on my observation and little experience I would like to dwell upon within my limitation is the most commonly word used fine. Most of the people who claim, many of them rather, who say I am fine but I'm not okay. So that's a kind of a situation wherein I have found many people suffering in various aspects of life. If we dwell upon, we will realize that some people are just dragging on and in a self-deception mode amidst all misery, all turbulence, all mental issues, or just for the heck of, they continue maintaining that all is well, I am fine, I am okay. Let's take the institution of marriage. I've come across many women, especially, including men too, who are just caught up into a marriage which is so sticky. When you ask them on a social platform, well, they say, yeah, it's fine. How's your marriage doing? Oh, it's fine. How is your husband or wife doing? Oh, well, they are fine. They say when they are fine, they're just trying to hide that all is not well. It's fine, but not okay. But the question arises that when it is just fine, which they are trying to come out with, then why is they stuck up? Then there are multiple reasons why people get stuck up, say, and continue with this jargon, I'm fine, but it's not okay. Either there is a parental pressure, societal rather, that a broken marriage is like a big taboo still. The acceptance is less, so the pressure is try and continue, try. The other aspect is couples who have children, they somehow become very benevolent and they become so sacrificing, and they say we have to continue this marriage, after all why the children should not suffer. So the facade of that marriage is there. They're living like two strangers under one roof, and yet the marriage is on. So when people outside ask them, how are you? They say, I'm fine, we are fine. So that fine word behind that, all is not okay. Similarly, you find people who are apparently very bright minds and all, who have landed up in wrong kind of jobs and all. They are literally in a state of, struggling. Yet, if you ask them, how are you doing? They will continue saying fine, because after all, there is the economic dynamics and the social dynamics. They can't be unemployed. What will the world say? So they continue lingering on with this idea. Whatever is, it's fate. Come on, reconcile to the fate. Oh, it's fine. I'm not okay. So I think this has become an integral part of human existence, wherein we continue live in self-deception mode. The other thing is, I've seen among youngsters, especially boys, young men and young women, how they are into literally entrapped in this world. I know a few girls, women especially, who were not very, extrovert, who were not social, and probably they were caught up in their own world. And somehow they always felt, left out and ignored or rejected or part of that peer group and all. So many of them were literally pushed on to a kind of a social setup or groups, which were like, typically enjoying and boozing and drinking and even drugs. So some of these girls, just to feeling that I am fine, because they were caught in the definition of being fine, they also pushed themselves to join them. And many of them ended up in a very miserable way. Because to feel that I am fine, they got entrapped into multiple things. Some of the women I talked to, they said, we had no clue, but when we got into the group, we got into the wrong habits, They got into boozing, drugs, late night partying and all. And sometimes even to the process of being, legitimizing that they are wanted and they are liked, they ended up with wrong men who used them, and sometimes to explore that they ended up sleeping, for which they later have regrets, because the internal dynamics were not permitting them to actually lead this kind of a life. But they were caught in a kind of a situation wherein they were trying to experiment to feel that I'm okay. So this has happened with many of these girls, women, who have actually been exploited. And at the end of the day, after this journey, they always feel, we ask them, how's life? Oh, I'm fine, but I'm not okay. Similarly, I've seen many guys, boys, especially young boys in school and all, who are very unruly and violent and, are very, all the time seeking attention and trying to do certain things which is like, not within the parameters of decency and decorum. But when actually case studies, if you see and go back and check their history in terms of their family life, why they are violent, why they are so abrasive in their behavior, why they use so abusive language with their friends, why are they bully? Actually, many of them, they just carry the baggage of their family. When they come back home and they see the father is drunk and the mother is bruised because of domestic violence, and there is literally a kind of a gloom in the family, these guys become rebel because they don't get a very conducive atmosphere. So all they feel is that somehow you feel they are fine, but it's not okay. The dynamics are not supporting them in terms of what is happening in their life. Last but not the least, I'd like to touch upon social media. Social media is a big leveler. Everybody is trying to come here for validation, for appreciation, for adulation, for whatever. But at the end of the day, you realize all is not very well with these people who are in these social media sites and all. They are not fine. They are looking for something to come in their life, something to happen in their life, somebody to come to love them, somebody to be there. So it's not always what you see even in social media, which is actually a fallacy, because most of the people are actually, they are not fine. They are pretending to be fine when all is not okay. So I think in totality, in a day-to-day life, whether it's a marriage, it's work, it's social media, it's within family, it's outside, in school, etc. Somehow the current situation is that most of them are people are undergoing with this phase wherein they feel that they are fine but not okay. Last but not the least, even when we think about very successful people or people who fail, the successful people also not all the time, all is not well, because for them there is a perpetually a kind of a to live up to the standard, to raise the bar of their achievement and all this stuff, which perpetually adds on, and we feel as an outsider, oh wow, they are doing wonderfully well and probably they're happy. But you speak to many of these achievers, so-called, you realize that all is not well with them. They're so stressed, they are so lonely, they are perpetually, and they feel so low at times. Similarly, the failure, they are like aspiring to be success. So probably for them also these fluctuating trends is there, because they are perpetually on tenterhooks trying to. So life, like overall, if you look in terms of and see around, even people close to you, you realize all is not well. Thank you very much. Stay indoors, stay safe, and have a great day. Thank you.